Greetings, Earthlings. Welcome to Planet and Alien here on YouTube. I'm Weird Little Alien, or Trippin' with Aliens. Hashtag Trippin' with Aliens. Yes. Okay, so if you have been watching my recent videos, then you know I have missed the last two episodes of Riverdale, including the third one on Wednesday. But, I didn't really miss the third one because usually the episodes come out on Wednesday and then I watch them on Thursday. And today is Thursday and I did in fact watch episode 3, so therefore 3 doesn't count. But the first 2 do count because I missed those deadlines for my personal self, But, so I binge watched episode 18, 19, and 20, and I got a lot of notes. So, even though we're into episode 20, there's still a lot that happened in episode 18 and 19, and a lot of it I wrote down. Mostly, a lot of it is what was said, because I felt like it was important what was said, and also it comes into play with the whole storyline and just how things don't really make sense in terms of the farm slash cult. I mean, even Riverdale Wiki has him as the farm person slash cult leader, so just saying. Oh, and before I forget, let me also say that when the Gargoyle King showed up, it was in episode 2 of season 3. And when Evelyn Ever Never showed up, it was in episode 3, episode 2 of season 3. So, because I was searching, like, what if it is Edgar, and so I searched when he popped up, but he didn't pop up till later on in the season, 316, I believe, until the musical, whereas Evelyn popped up at the exact same time the Gargoyle did. Now, granted, of course, in the Midnight Club, the Gargoyle King back then was, we don't know. I mean, for all we know, back then it really was just a joke, but then again, the principal did end up dying. So back then, honestly, it could have been any one of the kids pretending to be this Gargoyle King, or it still could be the same Gargoyle King, but I don't know, like, part of me thinks it is the same Gargoyle King, but at the same time, I don't know if it still is. But I do have two theories on who I think the Gargoyle King might be. Um, and that's going to come into play as I go on. But first, let me get into my notes. So that's why I'm sitting down, because I have a lot of notes, so I want to get through the notes. So basically, in episode 18, titled Jawbreaker. Okay, so Baby Teeth was obviously a sacrifice. Now, it was very much like Ben and Dilton Doiley's death. The purple lips, the carvings on their back, all that stuff, except for the part about him missing teeth. Now, what led to his death was the loss of blood from his teeth being pulled out while he was still alive. So, mind you, the creepy fucking morgue dude even said, Dr. Curdle even said, whoever did this is not human. Like, even the creepiest dude ever said, this person who did this is not human, and that shows you something. And Kurtz, alludes to the fact that he was just part of it, he was just a pawn in the game. And I'll get into it as I go on my notes. Okay, so, Jughead has this theory that the Gargoyle King is angry, and that is why Baby Teeth, also known as Brandon Morris, was killed. Maybe he's angry and maybe he's come back. But when Kurtz says that it's part of a game, then you kind of think a little more into it, and it will progress with my notes. I hope you keep up. I hope you, understand what I'm saying. It's just I want to kind of go through this all, because there's a lot that leads up to this point, and a lot that doesn't make sense. And I had to write it down. So, okay. So then we had the Edgar and Betty talking. Now, there's no record of him anywhere, which is weird. I mean, I understand you want to escape your past. Of course, you want to change your name. That's one way to escape your past. But why were you trying to escape it? You said your life was in tatters, but why was it in tatters? Like, why was your life so bad? Like, and why did you need to escape it so badly? And he talks about how he walked into the desert to die until he stumbled upon this tree on a hill next to this farm, and he was in death's clutches, but somehow made it to the front door of this farm where a nice elderly old lady who owned the farm took him in, and he woke up in a white room, which I guess points to why they all wear fucking white. He woke up in a white room and he was oh wait, that's not when he was reborn. He woke up in a white room. He's like, "How can I repay you?" She's like, "You can work on my farm." So he plows, he plants the crops, he watches them grow into something beautiful, and he's reborn. Just like these crops, he's reborn, except they're not reborn, they're fucking new crops, but whatever. He's reborn, which, can I just say, what happened to this elderly farm lady? Because he never alluded to what exactly happened to her. And how exactly, like, did he get her farm? Like, did she die and leave it to him? Did he kill her? And maybe that's why he changed his name? I'm just saying, it's a little odd that we didn't hear what happened to the elderly lady. Like, she took you in, you worked on her farm, you were reborn, and then what? Like, because he talks about he woke up in a room and like climbed over blah blah blah, and he talks about how he wants to open a place welcome for lost souls wandering out in the darkness, and it's like, I mean, you want you want you want to have a place that is welcoming for lost souls who are out lost in the darkness, but the way you're going about it, that's not the way you're doing it at all. You say this is your mission, like you want people who are lost to feel like they belong, but you're not doing that. And if you are doing that, it's in a way that's cult-like to the point where they're fucking brainwashed. Like, I'm serious. When I'm watching some of the scenes with, like, Tony and Cheryl in the farm, like, when all of them, sorry, I'm going a little ahead of time, but whatever. When all of them, I don't know what the fucking deal is with Edgar wanting Betty to join the farm so fucking bad. I mean, I know there's some theories that Edgar could be Betty's dad, but I don't know about that because, like, I totally see her being House daughter because even Alice said she's her father's daughter, which, bitch, she gonna hurt you? Like, honey, please. You're lucky. Like, you're, whatever. But, yeah, so I know there's like a theory like, oh, going around that he could be her father, which I don't know. I just don't see that. I mean, it could be, but like, no, I don't see that. I just don't. I don't. Um, but what I was saying is, in the scene, it's like Tony at this point is now part of the farm, you know? She went in there for Betty to get her girlfriend back and to help Betty get her mom back. And then next thing you know, she's like, this is a place I belong. And it's seriously like, it's different people. Like, that's not the same Tony. And literally them standing there all saying, join us, join us, join us, join us. That's fucking creepy. That is cult-like. Dude, that is so fucking cult-like. And then chasing her? Oh my fucking god. And then Edgar's like, go after her. And it's like, what the fuck, dude? Why do you want her to join so bad? Oh my god. And this gets me the most. Dude. Ooh, this gets me so bad. This gets me so bad. Okay, so, okay. Hal Cooper, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place, but you guys know where I'm coming from. Hal Cooper, was being transferred to Hiram's new facility, but it just so happened that the bus had an accident and everyone was burned to pieces, There was only heads to be identified and, like, some arms and shit. Well, it turns out that one of the arms found was, in fact, Hal Cooper's. However, it's very easy to cut your arm off from the handcuffs and to escape. So I don't really see him being dead, to be totally honest. I don't see Hal Cooper being dead at all. And I definitely also don't see Hal Cooper being the one pretending to be the Black Hood and attacking Betty in the school. Because I honestly don't think Hal wants to kill Betty. Because Hal sees himself in Betty, and I think he'd rather groom her to be like him than kill her. So whoever was pretending to be the Black Hood, I don't think it was Hal. Because even if, I mean, he could be dead for all we know. That could play a factor. But I believe he is alive. I do. I believe he is alive. And I just don't believe that he's working with the Gargoyle King and he's going to kill his daughter for the Gargoyle King. I don't see it working out that way. I just don't see Hal becoming the Black Hood and automatically just going after his daughter. Honestly, I think it might have been Hiram Lodge behind the Black Hood. Or my other contestant, yeah, my other runner-up for who might be the Gargoyle King is Tom Keller, which is Kevin Keller's dad. Why I say that is because the tattoo artist that they talked to, Betty and them, in episode 20, he said that he did a tattoo a year before, prior to Kurt's getting his, the markings on his back. He did it a year prior to that to a guy with sandy blonde hair and blue eyes. And of course, my first thought was Hal Cooper. But then, I realized when Betty was like, when Betty said something, and then it's like hinting at Edgar, and I was like, oh yeah, Edgar too does have sandy blonde hair and those nice blue eyes, but my first thought was Hal Cooper, and I guess if that was true, then maybe he would try and kill Betty for the Gargoyle King, but then the more I think about it, because next episode, apparently Ethel tells Jughead who the Gargoyle King is, and it's a shocker. Apparently, it's a huge shocker, and that leads me to believe that maybe it's Tom Keller. Maybe Tom Keller has been the Gargoyle King all along. I mean, maybe, because like when I'm sorry. Oh. Because when you look at all the characters on the show, it's like there's not that many with sandy blonde hair and blue eyes. Oh, like Chick didn't have blue eyes, did he? I mean, it could have been Chick, but it was an older gentleman. So, like, I mean, I don't remember him saying if it was older gentleman, though. He didn't really specify, I don't think. No, I think he did say it was an older gentleman. I mean, Charles? Ooh, no. But I'm thinking it might be Tom Keller. Because, like, it's apparently going to be really shocking from Jughead's face, like him saying, there's no way, there's no possible way, that can't happen, So clearly it's someone that you would never expect, and Tom Keller, sandy, blonde hair, blue eyes, you know, or maybe even Hal Cooper, and he's shocked because it's like that's not possible. He's dead, or because that's not possible. He was in a jail cell this whole time the Gargoyle King was going on. But for all we know, the Gargoyle King is the leader, and Hal is just one of his minions. Because I always go back to what the writers said. And in the first season, the writers said maybe everything that happens in every season is leading up to something bigger. And I feel like we haven't reached that bigger part. And what if the bigger part is that Hal Cooper became the Black Hood not only for the way he was raised and not only for people's sins, but also because of the Gargoyle King. Maybe it was, I don't know, maybe it was pre-game, before the Gargoyle King came into play, I don't know. It's just like, when you think about it, it's like, I don't know. It's just, I think Hal Cooper's alive, and I think he wouldn't, I don't think he would kill his daughter. I just don't. But at the same time, he still very well could be alive, and he still very well could be the Black Hood and be working for the Gargoyle King, because whoever attacked Betty was obviously doing it for the Gargoyle King. So, I mean, so whoever is in that Black Hood, it's like, I'm confused. I don't know. Like, I want to believe that Hal's alive, because I just don't think he's dead, because I honestly think he does want to, like, because he seems so against the farm and Edgar and all that, so I just don't see him helping them, because if the Gargoyle King is somehow connected to the farm, I just don't see why he'd help the Gargoyle King, and also I just don't see why he'd kill his daughter. The one that he says is just like him, the one that is the only one that talks to him. Like, why? Why would he try and kill her? Like, why? Would he really for the Gargoyle King? He didn't even kill her when he could have, when he had the chance as the Black Hood. Like, it just wouldn't make sense, and I just don't see him trying to kill his own daughter. Because, and like I said, he could be fucking dead. We don't know. But, yeah, I don't know. whoever's behind that gargoyle mask, I mean, it could be Edgar Evan. It could be Evelyn. Let's not forget Evelyn, because like I said, when the Gargoyle King appeared in episode 2, as did Evelyn. So it's very possible that the Gargoyle King could also be a girl. It doesn't have to be a guy, it could be a girl. But right now it's pointing towards an older gentleman with sandy blonde hair and blue eyes. And you kind of look at, well, that's Edgar, Ever, Hal Cooper, and Tom Keller, as far as I'm concerned, And it's like, well, Edgar didn't have the tattoos, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's not the Gargoyle King, because if he is the Gargoyle King, he wouldn't need tattoos, because he's already ascended, and he's the leader, so why would he need to ascend? And if it's Hal Cooper, then he's probably still alive, and then if it's Tom Keller, well, that's gonna be fucking shocking, because I'm not gonna see that coming. I mean, I know that's probably, like, the least possible Gargoyle King theory, but when I have the sandy blonde hair and the blue eyes, I think of 3 people, and one of them, as of right now, is dead. The other one doesn't have the tattoos, but could still be the Gargoyle King, and the other one is just there, And it also, another thing that gets me is we see Kevin's dad, Tom, with Archie a lot, but we don't see him with Kevin really anymore. And we never see him object to Kevin being part of the farm, even though he has to see that Kevin is changing in the weirdest ways possible. Like, he has to see that. So I am kind of curious as to why he hasn't done anything about Kevin being in the farm or anything. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just weird why Kevin's dad doesn't seem to really care that he's part of the farm. Maybe he just thinks it's harmless. I don't know. But it's kind of like he just doesn't acknowledge or care, and we don't get those scenes. And maybe that's just the way it is. That's the writers doing that. But maybe also there's another reason. Maybe he doesn't mind him being part of the farm because he also is too. I mean, it could be a very big possibility that he is the Gargoyle King, that he is part of the farm too. Like, it's a possibility, dude. So, let me get back into my notes. Damn, 17 minutes. Okay, so I read you that. Okay, this is another thing that Edgar said. He said, a safe place where wounded people can heal and become the best versions of themselves. But first, they must open themselves to that process. Okay, a safe place where wounded people can heal and become the best versions of themselves. Okay, so by letting them believe that their dead relative is somehow alive is helping them, that's, a safe place, that's going to make them a better version of themselves, because that sounds like something you're just trying to destroy who they are. I mean, there's just no explanation good enough to say, oh, by allowing them to see the dead, it helps them, because that's not true. You're letting them live in the past that they've finally got past, because you're all about helping them let go of the past and have a better future, but yet you're having them live in the past by seeing these relatives that are dead. Hold on, my roommate. Okay, sorry, she just left. But yeah, because I hate that, because it's like the best version of themselves, and it's like, but dude, you're literally showing them dead relatives, dead people in their life. How is that helping them? Also, if this is a place you want lost souls to find when they're in the darkness, why do you have your fucking wife, not daughter, your wife, who's 26 years old, pretending to be a 17-year-old, going into school, trying to get as many people as she can? And why are you with the adults trying to get as many people as you can? If this was just supposed to be a place for lost souls who are wandering to have a place, then why aren't you letting those lost souls find their way there themselves? Why are you recruiting them? That sounds like a cult. That doesn't sound like a safe place to find yourself or to heal. That sounds like a cult. You're recruiting people. You literally have a 26-year-old who's your fucking wife, pretending to be your daughter, go to different schools, pretending to be a junior, recruiting people. But you want to just help lost souls. But you're not. You're recruiting people. You're preying on their weakness. And that's what brings me to what I was going to say in the beginning before I forgot, is Edgar had Betty play right into his fucking hands. For all we know, it was Edgar as the Black Hood. Because what happened? Oh, yeah. So the Gargoyle King, of course, lures Betty away, and then she gets attacked by the Black Hood, who she thinks is her father because that's the Black Hood, Who else would she think it is? So, of course, she's afraid, goes to her mom and stuff, and then, of course, there's Edgar, just happened to be around like Evelyn, always just fucking around, and he happens to say, well, you can stay here, our walls are strong and stuff, and it's like, will you stay with us, Betty? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, yep, you played right into his hands. You played right into his hands. He did this. Oh, yeah. He had a part in this for sure. Why does he want her so badly in the farm? Like, I understand that she's the one trying to kind of tear apart your farm, like, show the truth for what it is, even though no one's listening to her, and anyone who does then eventually gets sucked into the fucking farm, which, how did they get Tony sucked in? I understand you want a family, but what are they putting in the food, the drinks, the air? Because whatever they're doing is just, like, okay, whatever they're putting in the air or whatever in the food is literally making these people different. Because then when you see them at school, they're not like that as much. It's like Tony and Cheryl when they were like, join us. And then you see them selling tickets and just being normal and stuff and talking about being prom queens. It's like, what the fuck? It's like these are like fucking brainwashed zombies and then they're back to their normal selves like nothing happened. And it's fucking weird. And I'm curious as to how they really got Tony because I mean it could have just been the Cheryl factor, the wanting to have a family factor, but like what else could it have been? I mean, Tony was so against it, and then suddenly she was one of them. Literally, it's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, like Jughead said. When he said that, the first thing I thought of was the movie Faculty. If you've never seen it, I recommend it. It's such a fucking great movie. But when he said that, I thought of Faculty because Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and it was like that because like when they're with the group and they're in the Sisters of Quiet Mercy, everyone's so fucking brainwashed and zombie-like and weird and emotionless. And then when you see them in school, they're not all like that. And it's weird. It's like, I mean, you're living in a Twilight Zone and it's fucking freaky. And it's like, why does he want her to be part of it so bad? It can't be because she's trying so hard to take him down. There has to be more reason to why he wants Betty to be a part of the farm cult so badly. And he got what he wanted in the end because she played into his hands by going to him for safety. Fuck. Fuck, 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 fuck. Okay. Moving on. Okay. Let's go on to, okay. Here's another one. This gets me when they say this. Where the one become many and the many become one. Okay, so this farm slash cult is trying to help you heal and find yourself and be the better version of yourself. But you're also saying the many become one and the one become many. That doesn't really make sense to me. I mean, the one become many, so one person becomes many people and many people become one person. What is it like fucking, I don't understand, like are people like meshing together, like so it to me it's like once you join this farm cult, you're all just one. You are no individual, you are no separate person, you're all one person, and that's Edgar. So that's how I take it. Because every time I fucking hear that, I'm like, stop saying that. Like, that sounds fucking cult-like, dude. And it doesn't sound right at all. Like, the one become many and the many become one. That doesn't sound like a good thing. Like, what the fuck? Stop saying that. Also, we have, Elio, of course. This is where Hiram comes into play. Because I knew Hiram. I knew it. I knew Hiram, man. See, I'm glad I have on the shirt bonkers because this show is just fucking bonkers. Of course, Hiram. Of course, Hiram. He is financially supporting Elio, who is the one who, in fact, actually got Randy killed. Yes, Archie could have forfeited, but I understand Archie not wanting to. And also, I understand that yeah, Elio gave Randy these supplements, but Randy also continued to take them. You know, I know he didn't know what was going to happen, but he did still take them. So that's on him too. So even though Archie didn't forfeit, his death is not on him. It's on Elio, mostly. I mean, of course, yeah, of course, Randy, he is to blame too because he did also take it. He didn't object to it. But Elio is the one who kept giving it to him and forcing it on him and stuff, Like, so Elio is responsible for his death. And then to just leave the family hanging high and dry, that's fucking shitty. And then you want to be scared of Archie? Oh, you want to call him the Riverdale Reaper? Well, yeah, don't say it when he's up in your face, huh? Because you're afraid he might kill you, because that's what you told Hiram. Oh, he tried to kill me tonight. He would have killed me tonight. I wish he would have, bitch. But, okay, so, Archie goes to Elio, because since Elio left his family high and dry, Archie's like, fuck this shit. Since I'm not going to take your blood money, I am now going to take it so I can give it to this family and also raise money for this family because they just lost their brother and you left them high and dry because you're a shitty ass fucking bitch. So he, gets him when he's not around his two little bodyguards who have to protect his little pussy ass. So he gets him when he's not around them. And of course, Elio's scared shitless. Archie takes the money, gives it to the family. And then we have Elio and Hiram Lodge talking. And of course, we have Hiram saying, don't worry, I support you financially. We find out that Hiram is financially supporting Elio in his whole boxing thing. Which means, what are we going to do about Archie? That's his question. What are we going to do about Archie? And let me just get my notes about exactly what he said. Okay, so Hiram says to Elio, let me handle him, meaning Archie Andrews. And he's like, what about your truce? The truce that you made with Archie? The truce you made after he saved your life. Well, this is what he has to say. I wrote it down because it was a lot and I can't remember it all. Well, he said there are two Archie Andrews. There's the one who saved my life, and then there's the other Archie who pointed a gun at my head. He was there to kill me. That's the real Archie Andrews, the one with murder in his heart. Honey, he didn't have murder in his heart until you showed up. Okay? Just remember that. It's you who made Archie into someone he was not. It's you trying to kill his dad, trying to manipulate him, and succeeding at manipulating him, and letting him become your little servant dog until he didn't want to do that anymore, until he realized what kind of person you really are. Yeah, he got murder in his heart. I don't see him trying to go out and murder people, I mean, he was the only one who actually cared that Randy was killed. I didn't see Elio caring. It was his number one fighter. He, had so much writing on him, he didn't care. No, he didn't care at all. He moved on. But it's like, yeah, Archie has murder in his heart, and it's like, I wonder why. Like, really, I wonder fucking why, Hiram. And Archie is not a murderer, okay? Yeah, he walked away and let a kid get murdered, and that's on him, and he has to deal with that, and he's went through that, okay? But he is not a murderer. You have put him in situations and put him through things that make him out to be. But he is not a murderer. He does not want to hurt anyone. but people want to keep trying to hurt him or his family, and therefore he has to defend himself. And also, when he's at his weakest, you come right for him and you get him under your claws. So yeah, he has murder in his heart because of you. Because of you, you took away his innocence. Because of you, there is no two Archies. Yeah, I mean, there are two Archies, but not the way you described. There's the Archie before you showed up, and there's the Archie after. And unfortunately, the Archie after is still going through a lot of shit and is still really having a hard time. And it's going to take time. Like, he's getting better, he's getting into his boxing. But of course, here comes Hiram again, Of course, Hiram is getting involved again, which leads to next episode where Hiram and Archie will be going against each other in a battle. And so we will be seeing that, and Hiram's like, let's end this once for all. And it's like, yeah, let's please end this once and for all, because since you can't keep a truce, let's fucking end this once and for all, because this is just getting out of hand. You have no honor. And of course, unfortunately, he also got Veronica also did what he exactly wanted without knowing that that was what he wanted. He knew that because, Elio was worried because Archie, of course, said he wasn't boxing anymore. And Hiram's like, I'm not worried about that. My daughter is on his side, so, of course. And Veronica, being Veronica, was like pushing Archie to do what he loves, which is boxing, and get back in there, which I wasn't like totally for. Do it for me. Like, okay, don't be using that shit. Like, you guys aren't dating, even though the writers seem to be going that way. But she was like, do it for me. And it's like, so Archie gets back into boxing because Veronica convinces him to. And unfortunately, that's exactly what Hiram wanted. And that's exactly what he got. And that's unbeknownst to Veronica and to Archie, but we will see that next episode. Because as we know, at the end of episode 20, we also found out that Veronica does not, in fact, own Pops or Bonop Weep or whatever, however you say it. Sorry, I can't say it. She does not, in fact, own it. Her dad gave her a fake deed. He, in fact, owns it. So everything she's been doing has been for him and his business and his investments and his money. And yeah, so she's come to realize that she doesn't own anything and that this is finally the time to end it once and for all with her dad. And Archie is going to go along with her. Let's hope that doesn't lead to them getting back together, because I think they're better as friends, and if they get back together, then the writers, we maybe should get new writers. Just saying. I'll get into that more. But, sorry. Okay, another thing to note was there was a matchbook lodged into Baby T's throat that was from the Maple Club. Now, that's odd. Now, we all know the Maple Club is owned by Penelope Blossom, but why would someone lodge in his throat a matchbook from the Maple Club? Is it possible because they've been to the Maple Club? I think we need to be looking at who's been to the Maple Club lately. Just saying. Just saying. We also had, of course, Fizzle Rocks and people freaking the fuck out on Fizzle Rocks, which, of course, like I said in previous videos, that FP would eventually find out that Gladys was the new Fizzle Rocks dealer in Riverdale, and he'd also find out that Jughead knew, but thankfully Gladys was actually a decent person in that moment and said, it wasn't his fault, don't blame him, I made him not tell you, so FP's not really mad at Jughead, he's mad at Gladys, thankfully, because he shouldn't be mad at Jughead. I mean, yes, he did keep it from him, but to Jughead, he was doing the right thing. But in that moment, when she was trying to lie, even though Jellybean's life was at stake, he was like, either you fucking say it or I will. And so she had to say the truth. And it's like, yeah, bitch, this is kind of your fault. Your daughter's life is in danger because of you. This is kind of your fault, dude. Like, this quest was targeted at the Joneses for a reason. At just the Joneses for a reason. And each little quest, one down, one down, one down. And of course, we've seen Penny. And of course, when Jughead's like, you don't have to kill her, you know, all you have to do is defeat her. And it's like, and Gladys stabs her in the leg, and it's like, I guess you'll be limping out. And it's like, yeah, bitch. I might not like Gladys, but fuck yeah. I know Jughead's like made a face like, oh, shouldn't have done that. But it's like, no, do that shit, bitch. Like, this bitch keeps coming back. Like, she wants to keep coming back. Like, just fucking do that shit. Either kill her or do what Gladys did and just fucking stab her and be like, well, I guess you're limping now. I would have stabbed her. Are you kidding me? I would have did whatever I fucking wanted. If I'm not gonna kill her, I would have stabbed her. So I was totally with Gladys on that. Fuck yeah, stab that bitch. Like, no, no, no. But, yeah, so there was a lot of people, because there were some bad batches of Fizzle Rocks that had people going fucking berserk to the point where one of them at school was literally banging their head against a locker and there was just blood. Like, holy fucking shit, that's crazy. Like, that's fucking crazy. Like, that was an insane scene because she was just like, and it's like one of those, like, it's like the happening, you know, when everyone, like, when you get that air, if you've ever seen the movie, when you get like the air in your system, like the plants, you know, get in your system and it makes you kill yourself and stuff. Like there's a scene with the lawnmower and all this stuff. That's what it reminded me of. It was so freaky, like crazy. Okay, also talking about Cheryl Blossom. She, even though Tony showed her the video of Jason being shot by his dad, she still said, even though she believed it to begin with, she still said to Tony, this is totally fabricated. Like with technology nowadays, you know, you can do this. And Tony replies with, well, have you ever hugged Jason? And you can see on Cheryl's face she has never once touched Jason, to where she gets defensive and she's like, yeah, of course I have, and shuts the computer and just goes. And right there you see that they can talk to these dead relatives who are somehow alive, but they cannot touch them. What does that tell you right there? I mean, I understand you still get to talk to them, but you don't physically get to touch them. You know, like, and it just gets me because how is talking to your dead relatives helping you at all? It's not like his end game here is something so sinister. Like there's no, you're not helping people. Not to mention now Alice and fucking Edgar are engaged. And she has the infinity symbol on her arm and it's like I like to think of it as an engagement ring. Oh my god. And then she knew that Evelyn was his wife and that she was 26. Like Cheryl didn't know because she like came at her with it. But like, what the fuck? What the fuck, Alice? Alice has literally lost touch with reality. Like, literally lost touch with reality. Like, oh, I'm afraid of my daughter. I'm afraid she might hurt me. I think she wants to hurt me. She's like her father. And it's like, what the fuck are they doing to you? Like, what happened to you? Seriously. And you know, not too long ago, you were all upset about FP choosing Gladys, and now you're all like, Edgar's my future, and Edgar and me have a special connection. And it's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he has a special connection with every girl in the farm that I'm sure are all his wives are going to be. It's fucking creepy. Like, I mean, and hold on, let me get this real quick. Because I wrote this down so I would have it. What the fuck, where's it at? Okay. Okay. I searched this up because I know what it means, but I still want to search it. Okay, so the infinity tattoo on the wrist means forever or always or limitless, never-ending possibilities, one of the most positive tattoos there is. But in this case, it's not positive. To me, that tattoo represents he owns you. That's what it represents to me. He owns you. You're forever a part of this cult. Or in his words, this farm, this family. That's what I think. You're forever a part of this cult. Once you have that tattoo, you ain't going nowhere, honey. No, you ain't going nowhere. And also another thing that's really fucking weird. See, this is another reason it's a cult, which we all know it is, but this is another reason it's a cult. He was fine letting the boy twin go, but he wanted to keep the girl. And you know what that is? So that when she grows up, she can marry either him or someone else in the farm. That's why he wanted to keep the girl, because she's going to be groomed to eventually be married to him or someone else in the farm. Most likely him, but then again, he'll be super old by then and that'd be fucking weird. But he wants to keep the girl, in my opinion, to groom her to eventually be married to him or someone, but most likely him. That's my opinion, because why would you let them take the boy, but not the girl? Why the girl of all? And that is why, because clearly he wants the girl for one reason, and that is marriage. And that is so fucking disgusting. And right there shows you even more proof that this is, in fact, a cult. I will say, I do love Veronica saying she's going to manipulate her dad into digging his own grave. Like, she's going to play it like he would. Like, I don't know anything. As far as I'm concerned, I own it. You don't, Dad. But I know you do. And I love that because that's the way you gotta play it. You gotta play it like Hiram, but better. You gotta be one step ahead of him because he's good. So you gotta be one step ahead. And you are, because he, right now, does not know that you know. And I don't think Pop's gonna tell him because I don't think he'd be happy with Pops. So therefore, Pops is not gonna tell him. But I will say that I do like when Veronica said that. However, I love that Veronica and Archie are having all these great scenes. They're being friends. But at the end of the day, I don't want Veronica and Archie back together. I'm sorry. Like, because one thing was said, it was like, Archie was like, oh, this makes me think of our old days, them at the dance, because, of episode 1 of season 1, they were at the dance together, which, if we all remember that episode, you kind of broke Betty's heart and backstabbed her. So, I mean, not the best kind of old days to look at, but yeah. Um, but they're talking about their old days and stuff, and it's like, these whole 3 episodes, Veronica and Archie, of course, Veronica's there for him 24/7, and that's good. Like, I want her to be there for him as a friend and stuff, even though it'd be nice to have Betty be there for him as a friend, even though she has her own stuff going on, but yet she still has time to be with Jughead. Like, ugh, it's just like, I don't understand how we're not getting any friendship scenes between Betty and Archie. Like, really. I watched 3 episodes, and we got no scenes of them, except for them all together in the fucking lounge, and I don't even think they even said words to each other. Like, what the fuck? But I love Veronica and Archie, being friends and working together. Honestly, it's kind of like Jughead and Betty now. Like, now it's like, you got Jughead and Betty working together, and then you got fucking Veronica and Archie working together. And it's like, I just don't want to go down this rabbit hole of Veronica and Archie back together again, because all these whole 3 episodes, they kept, like, hinting towards it. And it's like, honestly, if Veronica and Archie get back together by the end of the season, I don't really know what I'm going to do with the show, because I don't see it succeeding after this. Like, I just don't see it going anywhere good after this. If you're literally going to have them just fall back into that, if they get back together, they're basically saying Bughead and Varchie are endgame, because Bughead, they have really no issues in a relationship, which is uncommon to say the least, because in relationships you obviously have issues, especially with everything going on, but they seem to be the perfect couple, um it's also kind of weird when they make the same face expressions, considering they share a half brother. I'm just saying. I'm going to keep bringing that up because they do. They do, in fact, share a half brother. And see, I knew it. When they showed the tombstone, I was like, just because it's a tombstone does not mean that's Charles. Like, that doesn't mean there's a body, or if there is, it doesn't mean it's Charles. Like, he's still alive. And it just so happens that tombstone was fake. So, he is still alive. I think he is. I 100% think he's still alive. He's coming, or yeah, 100%. I'm going with 100%. Charles Cooper is alive. I'm saying it here, people. Maybe he'll come at the season finale for all we know. But yeah, I do not. If Veronica, because as we all know, Josie left because she's doing Katie Keene, which is a spinoff from Riverdale in New York. She's doing it. So I understand she's leaving for that, But if that means that Archie and Veronica are going to get it back together, because, of course, again, I had to hear this. Josie was like to Archie, we're not endgame. Oh my god. How many fucking times are you guys gonna say endgame in this fucking show? If I have to hear endgame one more fucking time. Sorry, that's my sweet mate. Sorry. What was I saying? Oh, fucking now I lost it because my sweet mate's so loud. I totally forgot where I was at because they started yelling. But yeah, so Josie left. So as far as I'm concerned, and as we all should probably know, Archie doesn't ever stay single for long, and so there's a possibility he could be getting back together with Veronica. I mean, it's a possibility. Even though, where the fuck is Reggie? Like, I know Charles was doing press and stuff for, what's it called? The Sun is a Star, or The Sun is also a Star, or something like that. I know he's doing stuff for that, but I'm pretty sure he also finished filming before he started doing stuff for that. So it's like, where the fuck is Reggie? Why couldn't Veronica and Reggie go to prom together as friends? Like, why did it have to be Archie and Veronica? Like, why did they have to be the ones to go to prom together? Like, where the fuck is Reggie at, dude? Like, seriously. Like, I feel like the writers are really trying to show us that Veronica and Archie are gonna get back together, and I'm not here for it. I'm just not. That's just not gonna happen for me. I'm sorry, but, like, please no. Please, no. Okay? No. And as much as I'm happy they're taking down Hiram together, it's not great that she's getting him back involved with Hiram. But then again, Hiram's already going after him at this point, so it doesn't matter if she's getting him involved because he's already fucking involved because of pussy-ass Elio. And of course, Hiram, who can't keep a fucking truce. But it's like, yeah. I mean, literally, we literally have the same thing with Bughead constantly. And I I mean, I'm not gonna lie, when Jughead was like to Betty about prom, he's like, only for you, Betty Cooper, he would go to prom. I'm not gonna lie, that was sweet, because I love Jughead. But at the same time, it's like, God, I just want something new. Please, please, something new. Please, season 4. Yes, change the storyline, have a new fucking villain, but please focus more on the characters and relationships. Please, please. Please give us some fucking actual real relationship showing between Betty and Jughead. Have them break up. Let us see something different. Let us have a chance to have Archie single and Veronica single, or Veronica with Reggie. Let us have a chance to have something new. But it's like, oh, that's what we were saying. That's what I was saying. Josie, she said, we are not Endgame. And it's like, dude, stop with the fucking Endgame. What does Endgame have to matter? Why does it matter? Right now you're dating. Why do you care if you're Endgame or not? You don't know what the fucking future holds. Why does it matter if you're Endgame or not? Like, seriously, I'm so fucking tired of hearing about this stupid fucking Endgame. Like, yeah, when Kevin said in the beginning, he was like, oh, Betty and Archie aren't dating, but they are Endgame. Okay, yes, I did like, that was season 1 and stuff, but now it's like, dude, we've heard it so many fucking times. Literally, Veronica said it, Reggie said it, Josie said it, I'm pretty sure Betty or Jughead have said it, if not both of them, like, oh my god, if I have to keep hearing this fucking Endgame, because when I hear this, all I think of is Bughead and Varchie being Endgame. Honestly, I feel like if we get Betty and Archie, it's going to be for like a little bit, and then they're going to just go right back to Betty and Jughead. That's honestly how I feel about it. I don't feel like we're really ever going to get, I mean, yeah, I really don't, I'm going to be honest, I don't feel like we're really going to get anything Barchie good related. Like, even in season 4, I don't even know if we'll get them to date, honestly. I don't even know. We're lucky to get a scene of them together, just them two talking. So, we'll be lucky if they ever date, if even for a day. From where this show's going, who fucking knows? I mean, it seems to be going back to Veronica and Archie, and of course Bughead's still doing the same thing. So, it's not really progressing in that way at all, unfortunately, which really fucking sucks. And it also sucks that you're portraying this relationship between Betty and Jughead in the most unrealistic way. They literally have no conflicts, which relationships do. Not all the time, but they still do have fights here and there, and when's the last time we saw them fight, really? So, yeah. I don't know. But, okay, so moving on anyways. Cheryl is now saying, being a farmie is making a lot less sense to me. See, this is what I mean. I think, oh my god, oh, actually, okay. Finally, Betty said it. She was like, finally, Betty said it. She said, it's weird that she was like, think about it. Edgar bought the Sisters of Quiet Mercy where the gargoyle G&G first started. And I'm like, finally someone says it. I've been saying it since hello, like episode 16. It's fucking weird. Why does he have Sisters of Quiet Mercy? Not only did the game start there, but literally the room they use is where the nuns killed themselves for this gargoyle king. So it's not that hard to think that he is the Gargoyle King when he keeps making it look like it. Not to mention, it just so happened the Gargoyle King and the Black Hood attacking Betty went made her go right into his safety place, his safe place. Like, why does he want her so bad? What is going on there? There's something else there, and I want to know. But yeah, Cheryl's saying being a farmie is making a lot less sense to me. And it's like, honestly, I don't think, okay, I definitely think that well, I mean, if there was chemicals in the air, then Betty would feel them too. I don't know. I feel like there's something in the vent system, or there's something in the drinks or the food. There's something that is just making these people like zombies in a way, like changing them. But it's like when they're at school, it's kind of different. Like Cheryl says, being a farmie is making a lot less sense to me, and it's like, well, the only reason you're part of the farm is because you want to see Jason. So, like, being a farmie is seeming. Sorry, I'm reading this because I keep forgetting. Being a farmie is making a lot less sense to me. And it's like, well, why did it make sense in the first place, you know? Because you got to see your dead brother. But that was it. What other than that is really the farm offering you? Except the chance to see someone who's dead, who you can't physically touch. For all you know, it's literally someone dressed up as them, or, which I don't really think that, it's most likely chemicals being put into that air in that room so that when they walk in there, they see this person that is dead because of the chemicals in the air or fizzle rocks. I don't fucking know. Something is being put into the air, something for them to see for them to see these dead people. Because, like, being a farmie is making a lot less sense to me, and it's like, yeah, I don't know, it didn't make sense to you in the beginning to begin with. The only reason you joined them is because they showed you Jason, and that's it. I mean, that's the only reason you're still with them. I mean, you gave up being prom queen because you want to keep seeing Jason. You almost gave up Tony because you wanted to keep seeing Jason. Like, and at the end of the day, that's the only reason you're part of the farm, is because you get to see your dead brother, and that's fucking fucked up. Also, can we talk about the bathroom? How the fuck? Okay, does no one like notice the bathroom covered with writings and symbols all over the place and two cups? Like, I do know that Weatherby is part of the farm, but like, does no one see this bathroom? How does no one see it, and how does it get cleaned up so easily? Like, it never happened. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not understanding that. Like, how is this bathroom just like this and no one's, like, doing anything or saying anything? Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense to me at all. And it's like, that's another reason why I think maybe Edgar, Gargoyle King, connected. But like I said, I don't know. It could be Tom Keller. It could be Hal Cooper. You know, because when I keep thinking back to Jughead and him saying, you know, there's no way. And it's like, and him being so shocked, and it's like, maybe that's because it's Hal, and he thought he was dead, and that's why he's like, that there's no way. Or maybe it's because Hal's been locked up, and he's like, there's no way. Or maybe it's because it's Tom, and it's like, no, there's no way. Tom, of all people, no, he wouldn't do that. You know? So I'm just saying, it could be a array of those. This is how much I love Jughead. I love Jughead so much. Like, Jughead just is me. Like, to a T. I am Jughead in Riverdale. I am. I mean, mentally, I'm Betty, but other personality, I'm Jughead, you know? But, like, I love Jughead. Like, even at prom, he still wears his fucking beanie. Like, even at prom, I just fucking love that. Like, that was just so good. Like, even at prom, like, that was awesome. Like, I mean, I want that beanie. Like, I need to get that beanie, even though it's gonna be summer. I'll get it next time, fuck. But, like, I just love Jughead. Like, he always has his beanie. Like, he's always just him, and I love that. Like, I just love Juggy. He's my baby. Sorry, I was reading my notes when you guys saw that before I paused it. There's also some some other things I want to talk about in some of the episodes. Another thing, when Cheryl said, this was in episode 20, she was like, please don't take Jason away. And it's like, that is heartbreaking, because literally he's already been taken away, and now there's a possibility he could be taken away again. Like, how is this helping people? How is this helping them heal? You are literally a fucking cult. And that's going to get more into it when I go into it. Now, we all know Alice told Edgar all the dirty little secrets, including the Midnight Club and including the Gargoyle King. So he knows all about that kind of shit. Okay? So just remember that. But I talked about how Edgar bought the Sister of the Quiet Mercy. But these are some of the things Edgar and the Gargoyle King have in common, thanks to Betty Cooper. Both preach ascension. Both have followers, and then both are just really creepy, which is true. They are. I mean, Edgar Everett is super hot and tries to be charming, but really just creeps me the fuck out. Even when he was like taking off his shirt, and I was like, ooh, I was still like, no, because like, no, honey, no, you're still fucking creepy, dude. I'm sorry, Chad Montgomery, love you, but your character's creepy, and I don't care how hot you are. No, you still fucking creepy as fuck. Like, no. Yeah, see, to me, this sounds really fucking stupid, because it's not even a farm, literally, because if this was for lost souls, you wouldn't be recruiting people, I'm sorry, and you wouldn't have a 26-year-old. And, like, the principal knows this and is still allowing to, oh my god, I don't know something's in this fucking water, I really don't know. I really don't know what the fuck. Like, maybe the principal's seeing his dead wife or something, I don't know, but people need to wake the fuck up. They really fucking need to wake up. Like, Alice is telling Betty she needs to let go. This is your 17-year-old daughter who literally has one parent locked away because he's a serial killer, and another who's joining a cult and telling her you need to let me go, and burning all their family album pictures. Oh, because that's the past. But you're living in the past by seeing your dead son from said past. Like, and you're going off a picture that you probably showed Edgar. So, I mean, does that not tell you anything? Like, literally, you're telling your daughter to move on, let you go. She's 17. Do you think maybe she needs you? You're asking her why is she still talking to her father? Well, maybe it's because he's the only one she has. The only fucking sane one at this point. But something that got me that Edgar said is something as trivial as prom. He was saying, like, if something as trivial as prom queen is important to you, because he's like, it requires sacrifice to stand with us. He's like, I'm afraid we can't have you speaking with Jason any longer, because, being a part of the farm means sacrifice, which means you can't be prom queen. I don't understand why. That makes no fucking sense to me at all. I don't get why that has to do with the farm. Like, you're literally controlling their lives and using their dead relatives to do it. You're literally using their weaknesses against them and manipulating them. Like, I see it so clearly, literally. Like, everyone does. Well, not everyone, but, like, us. At least I do. But, like, hearing that, I'm afraid we can't have you speaking with Jason anymore, like, that is so fucked up on so many levels. Not only did she say, please don't take Jason away from me, but, like, to say that to her because she wants to be prom queen? What is that? It's forbidden? Why is it forbidden? I don't understand. You do realize that Cheryl and Tony are lesbians. They're not going to marry you, okay? So, I don't know why being prom queens is forbidden. That makes no fucking sense. What? If your place is supposed to be a welcoming place, why does it have so many rules? Why are you recruiting people? Why are you doing weird fucking demonic ritual stuff? They're into demonic shit. Honestly, they're doing demonic shit. They're into some really bad shit. They are. I know they fucking are. Edgar and Evelyn, oh god, Evelyn always just right there. I love it though when Betty's right there and just like, I'm not listening, but I truly am. Because like, yeah, bitch, I hear what's being said, and I'm gonna research that shit. You 26-year-old wannabe 17. Like, 26. Bitch, she looked like 17, but like, damn, 26? Shit. Like, fuck. I don't want to go to college school that much. Like, 20. Like, ugh. We also had Jelly Bean this episode, who was with Ricky, who is fucking creepy as fucking can be. Like, he is so fucking creepy. Like, so fucking creepy. Because, like, I mean, just look at how he was looking, you know, at Jelly Bean. He was looking at her like a fucking sinister, creepy fuck. Like, he's a little kid and he's still, like, so fucking creepy. It just freaks me out. But, like, you had, of course, Ricky getting Jelly Bean Jones into G&G because Kurtz, you know, like he said, this is a quest for the Joneses, you know, this quest for all of you. It decides whether or not Jelly Bean gets to live, which, I mean, in the end, she did get to live. I mean, even though Kurtz said in the call, like, you can kill the princess, which, to be fair, Betty is technically the princess, what did you say? But, yeah, Jelly Bean, of course, does meet the Gargoyle King and stuff, and her and Ricky have a conquest to find the gospel, which they can't find, therefore they can't ascend into, you know, the place. They can't get into the place, you know. But of course, Ricky, you know, gets Jelly Bean, and then Kurt, you know, has to involve FP Gladys and Jughead to save Jelly Bean, and also get them hurt in the process and try to lock Jughead in a fucking refrigerator, but that bitch, when it comes to family, is gonna break that shit, which when he did, he then saw that Kurtz was dead, because I guess his quest was over with, and I guess when your quest is over with, you're dead. I guess they don't need you anymore, right? I guess so. I mean, if, he was dead, and I'm pretty sure the Gargoyle King killed him, because who was standing behind Jughead? The Gargoyle King. Just saying. And we also did have Gladys leave this episode, which this episode I actually kind of liked. This episode, I honestly handled Gladys because she was better because she had to be to save her daughter, and also in the end she realized that this was kind of her fault and she needed to leave. And also I'm glad that she was like, yeah, Jelly Bean should stay, because Jelly Bean needs to stay. She does, even though it might not be the best thing for her because, you know, Ricky's still out there, G&G's still out there, Gargoyle King's still out there, you know, but it is still a good thing that she stood with them, you know. And even though, you know, her and Jughead had their issues, like Gladys and Jughead, that's his mother, you know, he still loves her, cares about her, and he wanted her to stay, but she knew it, that she had to leave. She had to get away, you know, she has to. And it's better that she does for them, you know, especially for FP, because right now he's just really angry, and it's understandable. And I'm really proud that she actually left. I'm really glad. And I think that's a good thing that she did leave and that Jelly Bean stayed, you know, because she can't keep having Jelly Bean move around and just run from place to place. You know, she got to have a normal life. And I think that's just something Jelly Bean needs and wants. So I am glad Gladys is gone. But I mean, she might not be gone for good, but I am glad that she's gone. And then also Mary did come back too, which is understandable because Fred, who was played by Luke Perry, unfortunately, as we all know, died. And his last episode was episode 19, so Mary came into episode 20 and is going to be staying with Archie for a little bit. And, you know, that kind of explained Fred being gone, you know, it just kind of explained, like, he's basically on the road, I guess, you know. And so that was kind of like a really sad moment, because it's like, wow, Fred is really gone. Like, you're not going to see Fred again. Like, you're not going to have Archie and Fred moment and stuff. And it was sad. It was really sad, you know, and that sucks. But Mary is here, and she is here supporting Archie and his boxing career, and I'm happy that in the end she decided to support him, because, you know, this is something he wants to do. You know, this is something he really feels like he can do, and I think this is something he needs to do. Even if he doesn't succeed at it, I think it's something he still needs to do, and I do think this might be the path for him, you know? School maybe just isn't for him, but I also think music is for him, you know? I think he needs to get back into his music too. I know that's like a part of his past, but it doesn't have to be, you know? Music can help you a lot. Not just boxing, but music too. You know, anger can get out in a lot of different ways, and emotions can get out in a lot of different ways, not just punching things, you know? So hopefully he does get back into his music, because I would personally like to see that. So, another thing is Hal Cooper definitely did plan this. Him because I just don't think he's dead. I'm sorry. I just don't think he's dead. I don't. There's just no way. I don't think he's dead. I mean, he could be. I just don't think he's dead. And I just don't think he was the Black Hood attacking Betty. I just don't. Because that person was trying to kill her. So, like, I don't think that was Hal. But, I do think Hal planned this. Like Betty said, like, she was like, he planned this. Like, he used me. And I do think he planned this. I mean, yeah, he could be dead. He could. But I don't think so. I think he did plan this. I think he did. I think he planned this. Maybe he had help. Maybe it was the Gargoyle King. I don't know. Maybe. You know, maybe. I don't know. I'm stuck. You know, I'm stuck between those two. But he had help, probably, or, yeah, he had to have had help. Maybe someone messed with the engine or something, or maybe someone caused it to explode at the right time. But however it happened, I mean, Hal Cooper did, in fact, I think, plan this. And I think he cut off his arm from the handcuffs. And because usually they only have the one hand handcuff, sometimes two, but usually it's one. Just depends. I think he cut it off, and I think he is out there. So, and whoever did attack Betty, who was the Black Hood, seemed to have had two hands. So therefore, I don't think it could be Hal, because they had two hands. I mean, like I said, he could be dead. I just don't think he is. So, yeah, that is what I wanted to say about Riverdale. Wow, this is an hour and 5 minutes. I wonder if I can post this even on YouTube. We'll see. But I hope you guys enjoyed my ranting / review of episode 18, 19, and 20 of Riverdale. I'm sorry that was a lot. I tried to cover everything. I wanted to talk about everything. I, wanted to get things off my chest, and there's just a lot of things going on in Riverdale that are like kind of getting me. And it's like, right now, it's just like, who is the Gargoyle King? And why does Edgar want Betty in the farm / cult so bad? Those are my two main questions. What is the deal? What is the fascination with Betty for Edgar? And who is the Gargoyle King? Those are my two. And right now, my theories, like I said, Hal Cooper, Tom Keller. I'd go Tom Keller first and then Hal. Most likely Tom Keller. But it could be Hal or Edgar, or it could be someone totally different. We don't even know, I mean, for all we know, the person who got the tattoos on his back isn't the Gargoyle King. So, I mean, we got to just wait and see. But the person who got it prior to the Gargoyle thing starting. So, it could be more than just a coincidence. So that's something also to think about. There's a lot of things to think about. That's why I wrote so many notes and was going back and forth, because I really wanted to just talk about all 3 episodes at once and really get into it. And I'm sorry if I kind of went from different to different, but I think you get the gist of it and you kind of understand where I'm coming from and shit. And I don't know. I want to know your theories. Like, who do you think the Gargoyle King is? Why do you think Edgar's so obsessed with Betty? Do you think maybe he is her dad? Because I know that's a theory going around. Do you think Hal's still alive? Do you think he was the Black Hood trying to kill Betty? Like, I want to know what your take on it is. Is Betty reliving what her mom went through but never finished? And is the Gargoyle King trying to get Betty to finish it for her? I don't know. Or is it just Edgar behind it all? In a way, is it Edgar behind it all as a way to get Betty into the farm / cult? I'm going to keep saying the farm / cult because it's called the farm, but it's the fucking cult. But I'm going to call it the farm too. But because, like I said, she went right into his hands, dude. That is exactly what he wanted. He's like, I'll protect you. I'll protect both of you. That is exactly what he wanted, was for you to be in the one place he is. Exactly what he wanted. And it's just odd that it happened that way, isn't it? Just odd, right? Just really odd. I'm just saying. So, yeah, that's what I had to say about episode 18, 19, and 20. I hope you enjoyed. If you watched till the end, you're a real G. Like, hell yeah. Give it a thumbs up if you watched to the end. But yeah, so that's all I wanted to say. Sorry it took me this long, but at least I did it, I did make a video. So I hope you guys enjoy, and yes, I'm gonna go.